Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of This Week in the Village of Nothing Much. Our weekly recap where we talk a little bit about what happened or more likely didn't happen in our small grown-ups version of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. This week, our main story, the new story on the Nothing Much Happens feed, was called The Willow Tree. And I love this story. I loved writing it. I get to write different styles of stories now, right? I get to write sort of episodic stories where I feature a set of characters that y'all might be familiar with and carry through a very gentle storyline. But every time I write a story, I sort of think about where it would rank on the nothing-o-meter, the nothometer. How much nothing does this story have? And the Willow Tree ranks 5 nothings out of 5. Because it's really about atmosphere and internal experience and sensory experience and just observing. It's very quiet, and it was a joy to write. So I hope that even if you didn't consciously hear it, that it brought a bit of peace to you. Our encore story this week is Catnap, which is a classic Marmalade and Crumb story. And just a reminder, those Thursday episodes, they're encores. They're episodes that came out previously. So if you hear that story and hear the narrator say, you know, we're a family of 3, Marmalade and Crumb and me, don't panic. Marmalade and Crumb's mom and Bertie's dad are happily married. We're just visiting the past. I mean, we have so many 7 years of stories now, and I have a feeling that there's some you haven't heard. In our daytime stories, Stories from the Village of Nothing Much, we had an encore episode there as well. And we heard some more of my favorites, which is Begin Again. That's a really lovely spring equinox story. Then we had First This, Then That. I mean, these are mantras I used to teach in yoga all the time. Begin again, and First This, Then That. And then finally Touchstone, which was another really nice, I'd say like 4 nothings out of 4, or 4 nothings out of 5 rather, for that story. Other news in the village, we are contemplating having some small live events, building our way up to bigger live events. And so if you are in Metro Detroit and interested in like a 90-minute workshop experience, would be very few people, you and me and a few others, where I would teach some somatic relaxation exercises, some deep breathing and storytelling for building wind down routines and inner peace. Let us know, because we're trying to figure out what that looks like and how that will work. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to Moonbird, who is sponsoring the podcast this week. I really love this device. You know, I'm somebody who taught yoga for 20 years. I know how to breathe. I know how to breathe for different effects. But I use Moonbird because I like having a little bit of coaching. So it's this simple device. I put my thumb over it and I shake it, and that activates it. And it starts to expand really gently in my palm. It's doing it right now. And that's when I'm inhaling. And then it slowly contracts and I exhale. And I took this with me to a yin yoga class on Monday night. It's so soothing. And I just got there like 10 minutes early, and I was sitting on my mat holding this in my hand, and it just felt really nice. Like I said, I know what I'm doing when it comes to breath, and maybe you do too. But I like not having to think through all of it. Sometimes it's nice just to have someone say to you, take a deep breath in and out. Why not do one more? Inhale and exhale. Good. I really loved reading all your comments last week, your glimmers. So please feel free to share them with me. I had so many this week. It was overwhelming, but I'll just say I just got my nails painted and they have little flowers on them. And it is making me really, really happy. Thanks so much for being a part of our community. And I look forward to updating you again next week.